Hey guys, Dan Heilman back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about the critical junction we're at for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. We are right at support. We need to hold this support and we might have a fake out down and then a reversal. But I am thinking right now that we are pretty much at this critical support that is extremely important for us to hold for Bitcoin especially, and a lot of cryptocurrencies. A lot of altcoins are just getting absolutely hammered right now. So if we look at Bitcoin right now and we go to the 4 hour, I'm gonna clean up the chart a little bit, and this is what we have going on. So we have this wedge that has been forming for a while now from the top over here, and then we've basically, if you draw another support line through the bottom of these wicks, you can see we have just now bounced off this support. I've added a couple small leverage positions, and the rest of my leverage positions are down in the negative. You can see my positions over here. So affiliate link below if you want to try trading. Bitunix is my favorite exchange. There's another promotion that I'll be running soon, and we'll talk about that. But what do we have going on here? So we're right at support on everything. And if you look at the S&P 500, we have all-time highs here. So it's quite interesting, right? Why are we dumping? Why are we dumping? I'll show you one thing that happened pretty much last night. If we go into the 5 minute, this is a good time frame that I use for showing kind of market manipulation here. I'll turn on my trading indicators and you can see these yellow X's. This denotes market manipulation, and you can see we basically had this pump last night right when futures opened, and we pumped right into the bull market support band. We pulled back just a tiny bit, and as we were trying to get back above the support, Bitcoin just started like selling off like crazy all the way down from about 109 all the way down to about 106, a nice little 3% dump. And so if I look at this right here, this was, the first one was about, what is that, 9:15 last night. And then if I pull up my Telegram chart here and we go to about 9:15, you can see a lot of market makers were moving a lot of cryptocurrency. You can see Binance and Wintermute moving a bunch of Solana, ETH, Solana, just dumping just insane amounts right into this, right? You can see it actually started right at this. It actually started a little bit before, so it was maybe somewhere even. If we go up here to like 7:10 p.m., go back here, 7:10 p.m., you can see Binance and Wintermute does about $12.5 million, and then they did $9 million, and then they dumped a bunch of Solana, and Crypto.com using Wintermute also dumped a bunch of Bitcoin, 4 million, Binance and Wintermute 10.2 million. So you can see right between 7 and 8 when this kind of started here, you can see 7 right here and 8 o'clock. They just started dumping the price like insanely. And then another one was, what is this? What did I say? 9:15. We go to 9:15. 9:15, right about here. ETH, Solana. So this actually, there was some big sells from someone that I'm not tracking because I don't see any Bitcoin transactions right here. I guess there's one here for about 7 million at 8:30. Yeah, okay, so right in here. So actually these big yellow X's were potentially not from Wintermute and Binance, but basically the whole point of this is we have whales and exchanges just dumping the price. Now if we go to CoinGlass, I'm sure the liquidations were pretty insane, starting pretty much last night here. So if we go to like liquidations last 24 hours, you can see we had what, about 538 million. So lots of liquidations here again. And if we go down here to this, you can see we had a lot of liquidations on October 9th, and we've just been having pretty much long liquidations for the most part for the last, I don't know, if we go to like the 1 hour, this gives us a little bit higher resolution here. So this is the 30th of October all the way to the 3rd of November, which is today. You can see all of the liquidations have basically been longs and nothing else. Go to 4 hour, we see kind of the same thing. We haven't had really any significant short liquidations since about October 21st. October 21st. So if we go to the daily chart, October 21st being, I'm assuming down in here somewhere. Yeah, right about here. We started when we had this nice little pump of about 8% on Bitcoin. That was the last time we had really any short liquidation. So I do think this is going to turn around. Again, another thing, if I kind of clean up the chart a bit and turn on my moon cycle indicator, let me go to like the 12-hour. Turn on the moon cycle indicator. You can search DYHT, DHYT, Dan Heilman YouTube, and you can find 2 of my indicators for free. But you can see we are coming into the green window here where we usually are seeing some pumps. Now, we definitely pumped in the beginning portion of this, but actually we had a sell-off on the bull moon for one of the first times in a while. If you can see back, we had a pump through that. It always looks pretty good right before and right after this pump. And you can see we are right in this window now where we should be seeing some pumps according to the moon cycle indicators. Now, does the moon predict Bitcoin? I don't know. Maybe it's just something with the timing. You know, Bitcoin is in 60-day cycles and the moon is 30-day cycles. So it might just be something to do with that. But I've seen a couple people talk about it, and actually a couple people were talking about the quarter cycles or half cycles or something. Basically, the midpoint between the red and green line being like the start of a pump, which would be right about here, this blue line, and you can see I think we're still going to be pumping here just because I think a lot of this was manipulation from big whales. There's a lot of big whales coming out of the woodwork and selling a lot of Bitcoin that they've had for quite some time. But when you see the S&P 500 at all-time highs and crypto just getting absolutely pummeled over the weekend, I do think we're going to hold this. And we just did, about 30 minutes ago or an hour ago, we were literally kind of faking below this here and trying to dump a little bit below this. And you can see now we've kind of recovered that. And I think that's going to be the bottom for today. Maybe we'll sweep it on the New York Exchange Open. But a lot of altcoins have been dumping as well. So if we go look at Litecoin, go on the daily, turn on my trading indicators just to see what we got going on here. We had this massive dump on the daily, and you can see the Camel Finance indicator is saying that we should have a low somewhere in this area here. Another one I have a big trade on is Neo, which is holding support very well. Dot, a little bit worse, holding support. Pengu just is dying basically. That one's pulling back. So if we go and let's go look at some altcoin divided by Bitcoin charts here. Ethereum. This one is obviously the leading cryptocurrency, and it's holding support right here at this same line. So if we draw a line right here from the bottom of this through this, you can see that we are right now just bounced off the same support line, and we're holding above the bull market support band. Camel Finance indicator says there's a low in this cycle, so maybe in a couple days it can pick it early if it thinks that's a low. Pengu, you can see, is just kind of lost a lot of power. You can see Pengu all the way down here from the top. We are down a lot, like 60% against Bitcoin. So that one not looking too good. Solana holding do or die support again. So if you draw a line from here through these wicks, you can see we've just kind of faked out below them. We do have a moving average here that has acted as support. So we need to hold this for Solana to show strength. Binance coin divided by Bitcoin, this one is dumping below a major moving average. The Camel Finance indicator picked this as a low, but if we close this below, we should see that move a little bit. Litecoin holding pretty good. I mean, really, it's done nothing since the dump on October 10th. It's basically just held this line for 24 days now. So pretty much hasn't done anything. We came up and were rejected off the bull market support band twice, but that acts as resistance, and all we need to do is flip it into support by going back above it. And the Camel Finance indicator telling me that there is going to be a daily cycle low in here. Fartcoin is still holding this kind of same support that we've held from here. It looks like it's going to tap it again, so that one might hold there. Another one, Neo, looking extremely strong. It's just been holding this. We kind of had this floor up here, and the 1010 liquidation event pulled us below. And we've kind of just been ranging here for a while now. Dogecoin looking like it lost a little bit more strength here. We do have this support level way down here that it could potentially come down to. AVAX right on critical support again. So we had some support here versus Bitcoin. And again, we're right at that. Crow, kind of similar story, being held by moving averages, looking like it wants to bottom here. Dot, this one kind of looking like it, I don't know, it's just like maybe either sweeping this low or wanting to come down a little bit. XTZ, kind of looking like the same thing. Now, I'm going to look at a couple of these against ETH, ones that I care about a lot. Litecoin, for example, against Ethereum in the daily cycle low window, but has been showing strength. You know, it's been up 12% over this entire liquidation event. You know, this massive, what is this, World Mental Health Day or something like that. So this one has been showing strength and now just had 2 days of a little bit of a breakdown against Ethereum. If we look at like Solana versus Ethereum, excuse me, we basically have some critical support right in here. You can see, you know, we have some critical support that we've bounced off a couple times. We may come and bounce off that once again. Fartcoin against ETH, just kind of breaking down a little bit. AVAX, looks like it's kind of breaking down, but it looks like they're kind of curving over a little bit, right? Wild, that one's looking whatever. Neo against Ethereum. So Neo is the kind of competitor to Ethereum, and this one is still kind of looking strong. I mean, since the liquidation event, we are up 21%. So quite interesting. You can see if you draw like a line through here, we kind of held this support, and now we're really like trying to hold this area here. So it kind of to me looks like we're coming down and, you know, kind of rolling off here. So it looks like we are going to see a reversal for Neo. This is again the Chinese Ethereum. China is talking about doing stable coins. Maybe they do it on Neo because that's kind of their not their project. I mean, it's a government, they didn't make this project, but the major similar Ethereum competitor. I want to make a dedicated video on this one and kind of deep dive like the differences between Neo and Ethereum, but that one's looking interesting. Crowcoin kind of at critical support. So everything is at critical support here. Let's check Bitcoin dominance before and USDT dominance. Bitcoin dominance just right now is kind of breaking above this channel. Now we've had some false breaks above the channel before. So this could easily be something like that, right? If you draw like some lines like this, you know, these were false breaks above this channel. We are above the bull market support band. And I think we're just going to wick into this, and I think we will reverse because I do think we'll get a pump on Bitcoin. Usually Mondays are for dumping, and it kind of happened last night, so we kind of got that on our system, hopefully. Again, if we just check the SPY, it's literally trying to make an all-time high right now. And if you look at futures, they're up as well, even though Bitcoin is not. So it's just kind of interesting there that we're seeing this, but Bitcoin dominance is pumping here. We could come up to the top of this bull market support band or even this red moving average and use this as support again, but we don't have to. USDT dominance is in a very critical support range as well. So if you draw a line through all of this, this 5.15% is very, very important. You see we have a green band saying we should see a cycle low here. And it looks like we kind of, maybe we picked that early, or if we're just trying to find another one, but maybe we see another dump through here, which means a pump for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. So this is an inverse indicator, right? When this goes up, Bitcoin and crypto is dumping. When this goes down, it's better. So you can see we have critical support right here that we're just smashed up against. Same thing here. Again, if we draw a line, same thing right through here. You can see we just have critical support that we are holding here. It kind of looks like almost like a head and shoulders here with this, and no, not really. Not really. And you don't want to see that on this chart anyways. But yeah, that's what we've got going on. So we're at critical support and we need to hold it. And we do have a lot of manipulation and big whales selling a lot of cryptocurrency. That is definitely what kind of caused this here. You can see this massive daily red candle here. So it's just quite interesting here. If we go look at the sentiment indicator that I have, if we go to the daily, this kind of tracks outflows and stuff like that. You can see it has a lot of confluence right here where we had a lot of outflows from Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. We had the FOMO finder turning into the purple, and we had, you know, fear here on the crypto and fear index. You can see we've even got lower on the crypto and fear, but interesting that funding is still, I kind of expect us to be into FOMO. Let me just refresh this page, and it's actually pretty balanced. That means, you know, we have an equal amount of longs and shorts in this area. So a lot of indecision, which is, I kind of wanted to see this in panic today, along with this being in fear for the last couple days. But we don't see that. If you kind of zoom in here for the last like month, you can see we've just been kind of in this fearful area for a while now. We put in a low about 22. Today we're about 40. So I think this is extreme fear right here at 22. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, kind of similar thing on the coin market cap, crypto and fear index as well. So as I said, we're at a critical support here. And I think most of the liquidations have potentially happened. We could see a sweep when the market opens, especially if SPY dumps, you know, the S&P 500 dumps, but it's been holding right here at the top pretty much at all-time highs. We did kind of fill this gap almost. There is another kind of gap right here. So, I mean, you see this like gap right here. We could have something there. You know, there's a gap kind of down in here that we could potentially come down to try to fill. But we did pretty much fill this gap up here in the S&P 500. If I kind of show like something like that, we did pretty much fill most of this on Friday. And if we see the S&P 500 just pull up out of here, I expect Bitcoin and altcoins to follow. We have bounced really nicely off this support actually now. You can see we are bouncing very nicely off this. So, oh, one other thing I wanted to check was gold, Bitcoin and gold. Here you can see we have bounced off this support and we're kind of coming back down a little bit. I do expect this to continue up and then maybe pull back into this window here. If we check gold, what do we got going on for gold today? Gold on the daily, you can see we've had this big pullback on gold, and wow, look at all the volume. That's insane. The volume right in here has been insane. It's actually destroyed the volume chart. Okay, I don't know if that's real volume. Anyways, we had a pullback on gold and even silver. So these have been performing very well. And one last thing, Bitcoin divided by silver. You can see we actually kind of broke down here. I'm expecting this to be kind of a fake out and recover. I don't think the Bitcoin bull market is over. I think it will continue. And we'll get probably some confirmation or some evidence against that theory, towards that theory, sorry, when the market's open. So, yep, that's what we got going on. We need to hold this and we need to move back up. Everything's at critical support here. I just opened some new fresh longs, but a lot of these longs that I opened, I was actually like $1,000 in the profit. Was that yesterday or something? And then now we're back way into the negative. So I have an affiliate link below for Bitunix, and I have another exchange that I'm showing. I'll put an affiliate link below for that one as well. And we're running a promotion on that one as well. I'm trying that one out. So if you want to try that one out with me, feel free to click the video below. I'm sorry, the links below. That's the best way to support the channel, and have a great day. See you guys.